Spending all week literally hanging out with my son and volunteering at his co-op school, and it's been really awesome. And so I wanted to share that with you because I've had a lot of questions about time management. And a lot of times people feel like we're running behind our schedules, right? And if there's anything I can tell you that I have spent a lifetime really figuring out is how to manage my overwhelm and frustration, because I used to be frustrated or overwhelmed all the time because I always put so much pressure on myself to perform or to create a great result in my life. And so, I'm here with Coach Wishanda right now. It's flex time when you're getting this message, and I'm recording it this week because I forgot to record it earlier on in the month. And so I share all this like complete transparency with you because I think it's important for platforms like mine to be really transparent about the messiness of how miracles come about. And there's beautiful miracles called your dreams, your desires, and it's one part God and it's another part you, like working your land. So all of that to say, there's a couple things that I can share with you that really help me reduce my pressure in my life. And one of the things is I always say the things like manage my mind. I actually have coffee cups over there that literally say stay in the step you're in. And so often, excuse me, often what happens is we feel defeated every time that we have something not turn out the way we want. Like you did a webinar, and I have a client right now. She did a webinar, her first webinar this month. Nobody bought. Her second webinar, she had an incredible conversion, meaning that her conversion numbers were awesome. However, she didn't have enough people on the webinar to be able to just crush it financially. And so the third time, it's awesome. She's like jumping back up to the campaign. But the third time she's stepping up to the plate, I get a message that she's changing the entire campaign, like going from a webinar to, let's say, a challenge or a boot camp or whatever. And so I just really recommend that we stop shifting gears and trying new things. Like, sometimes I'll do a campaign and, we'll do really well financially. Other times we'll do the same campaign and we won't do as well financially, or even might have a loss financially. But you want to trust yourself to solve the problems or solve the gap when the gap comes up. So it reminds me of sports, right? Like when you're training for a marathon or a triathlon, and it's okay if you don't do this, like working towards like getting in shape. And there's days that you feel like you don't want to do it. There's other days that there's other stretches that you feel like you're like doing great and you're working out every day, or you're keeping your commitments and you feel really good about it. And then there's the real pitfalls, which is when it's raining outside and you don't want to go outside, or here being in San Diego, it's pretty much almost never raining outside. I'm actually looking at the waves on the ocean. And but you might have had a glass of wine the night before and you didn't feel like getting up, or maybe your dog ate your running shoes. You get what I'm saying? It's just, you fall off. And when you fall off, that's when the dangerous part happens, because you want to change strategies. You want to get onto a new race. You want to not run the one that you're doing. And that's where the character's built. Like you guys who have kids, it's like, when your kid starts to learn how to walk and they fall, you don't encourage them to stay down. But yet, as an entrepreneur, we encourage ourselves to stay down all the time because we make up these lies inside our head and we solve the wrong problem. Here's the problem we solve, just like my client. Well, instead of doing a webinar and getting more people on, I'll focus on like doing a challenge or something. It's like every time you start something new, there's a whole new risk moment. And so it's like, stop. I guess what I'm saying is like, step up and you're intelligent, solve the problem. So it's like, if you're doing Facebook lives and nobody's coming to them or nobody's engaging, then, ask a question like, okay, so here's an engagement question. How many of you guys do Facebook lives or Instagram lives and you don't get the engagement you want? Like, go down there right now in the chat, on the comments, and say me. Just say I do or me, so I can see you. Then I can look and see, okay, there's a lot of you guys who have engagement challenges. So then I can do a Thursday Coach with Shanda all about engagement. I can give you 2 or 3 engagement strategies to get people to show up. If you want that, then go ahead below and put the word engage. And then I can see that you want that. So, you don't want to sit there and keep keep running away from the pain because you somehow think that because people don't show up for your webinars or they don't buy from you, that somehow you suck. And you don't. You just don't. You're just like the rest of us. You got to go, okay, nobody's showing up. What do I need to do? Well, why don't I look and see where the emails, did I have enough reminder emails written? Okay, yes, I did. Or maybe you don't even know how many reminder emails, right? There should at least be 3 reminder emails and 1 text message that you're starting, right? Then it's like, reminder emails into a webinar or challenge or anything. Now, what if you did that and they still didn't work? Well, maybe you're not good at writing copy. Maybe you have to hire a copywriter to write those once for you, and then you could reuse them for the course of another 3 years if you wanted to. You could just change the name of the product that they're coming to. It's like, it's thinking about solving the problem versus worried about spending money. And so often people are worried about spending money, and the cost of not spending money is just a lifetime of struggle. And so it like so many people, when they're building their businesses, they don't want to walk into the pain of the feedback. There's my son. Zach, They don't want to walk into the pain of the feedback and solve whatever's not working in the campaign. What they want to do is just go start something new. And I see it with high performers. I see it with everyday people. I see it with new business owners. I have a client that I'm coaching right now that's at about $5 million a year. I see it with them. I see it constantly. It's like this little devil on our shoulder that sits there and whispers in our ear that we should do something different. Like, oh, webinars aren't working. Oh, challenges aren't working. Oh, this offer doesn't work. Oh, the messaging's wrong. When it's like, hold on, like you really got to you got to analyze the data right? So if you have a bunch of people that are on a webinar or challenge or anything, and you make an offer, what percentage of the people that showed up actually bought? And then go ask someone like me, is this good? Like, send me, I'm not big on checking my Facebook inbox messages, but you can go find me on Instagram.com/Shanda Sumpter. Shanda Sumpter. Go find me on Instagram and ask me a question. I answer all my questions on Instagram, right? And so, go ask me a question. Ask me if it's good, and I'll tell you. Get into our programs. A bunch of people just jumped into our club. We're teaching them how to sell. A bunch of them, I'm going to teach them how to build buyers lists at the end of October. If you want to know how to build a buyers list, put the word buyer like in the comments. Just put the word buyer, and I'll send you some information about how to get into that workshop. My point is solve the right problem. If you need more buyers, then put the word buyer and let me teach you at the end of October how to create buyers. If you need engagement and you don't know how to get people to engage in your stuff, then write the word engagement. But if you got nobody following you or nobody on your email list, then engagement is not your problem. It's actually customer acquisition. It's buyers, right? Building a customer acquisition funnel. So you got to start to really listen to the right mentors and leaders. I think everybody should have a mentor. Without a mentor, I think you are struggling. Without a mentor, I struggle. And, I don't reach for the stars. I reach for the sky. You know what I mean? And I reach for what's possible versus what I can actually create. So anyway, so all of that to say, I'm just encouraging you not to give up on the things you're working on, because there's pieces you've identified as not working, and then you've attached a story to it that it doesn't work. And that's just simply the most dangerous thing entrepreneurs can think of when they're growing businesses. Listen, the world needs you. God has an assignment attached to your name. And that assignment attached to your name, it's like nothing can get in its way except for you. And so you want to lead your thoughts, lead your mind, lead your actions so that you can bust through the disappointments and have the huge celebration that you're looking for. All right, if this was helpful for you, make sure that you share it with somebody that you love. And I'm sending you so much love. And I'll see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. California time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I show up here to do Coach with Shanna.